Hey you guys. So I don't know. I posted up a video on Friday, and it's a new vlog I want to start this year. So I'm very blessed to even gain the courage to even come up and speak with you guys and just talking to anyone and out there. I hope this video will encourage anyone, and especially those who have gone through what I've gone through, dealing with health reasons and the whole medication and withdrawals and those struggles, personal internal struggles. Um, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the withdrawal symptoms. I know I talked about that on Friday, and yes, I am 100% off my medications. Awesome. I thank God for that. So I feel very blessed. Um, but it's been about 5 days since I've been off all my medications, and it's not easy. Let me just tell you a little bit about that. Um, when I did start coming off the medication, it's been a struggle. It's not something where you just come off it and then you're fine and dandy. No, there's still struggles. Let me tell you, some of the times where when I would take my medicine or when I was on it constantly was that when I did wake up in the morning or the next day or whenever I wake up, I would wake up with this super strong craving, like a big urge where I like my body needed it. Like I just had to have it. um, and it was always something like I would get up and I just felt like my body was on fire. I just a craving, and it felt like I need to take my medicine. I just became dependent. My body just needed it in me, and so a lot of times I would wake up and I would just get up, take the medicine, and then go back to bed and fall asleep. And it was like that for the past couple years, where I would just get up and take my medicine, but the cravings and the minute when I would wake up and those feelings and these emotions, like they were real. um there were, I would try to fight them internally and on my own. But it was always hard. I was always fall back into just taking them again and telling like, oh, I need it. I would tell myself that I would need that medicine in order for me to feel better about myself. um Even if it was, the pain, if I would make an excuse, if I felt like a little tiny ache, oh, I need the medicine. If I felt a little tiny bump and it bruised me, oh, I need the medicine. That's how dependent I was on these medications, and it affected me in a lot of ways. I know in the other video I mentioned how I wasn't truly myself, how I locked myself in my room, and my family would not see me weeks at a time. But also, they had to deal with me as well, with me lashing out, me being grumpy, me just not being me. Like I said, I wasn't the best version of myself, and especially with my friends. I feel probably my friends got it worse, because when I did go out with them, I just stayed quiet, or I wasn't truly myself, or I was always talking very negative because I felt sometimes I could talk to them more than my family. Even though my family could see it, I would never say it out loud to them. But I'm pretty sure they could tell just by seeing, and they were always praying for me. And I know they knew. But when it came to my friends, you know, they wouldn't understand why I would get angry so mad, or why I would, start arguing with them over something very simple. I would very exaggerate being mad over something dumb, and my friends would be like, why is just a little joke, or they were just messing around. But, I wasn't always there. So sometimes I would take things very seriously. And in order to avoid all that, because when my friends did tell me, I would just stay quiet because I didn't know how to act or be around my friends anymore. And it affected me in so many ways. You're truly lost. You're not truly yourself when you're under all these medications. I still have them here, as a memory's sake, because I'm not going to take these anymore. But I remember all the times, all the struggles that I've been through emotionally. I thank God for my friends. I thank God for my family. Just today I called my buddy up and I called him like, I got exciting news. I'm finally off my meds. And yeah, I was a little late telling him, but I was so happy to tell him because he has been there for me since the very beginning. He would come to the hospital. He would come to my over to the house and visit me. He would come pick me up and take me out to eat, or come pick me up and take me out to get some coffee, or invite me over to his house and come pick me up and drive over there. And he was a true friend. Another two other couple friends I have, they stuck by me since, like I said, since the beginning. Um, they supported me emotionally, and they would pray for me, and I thank God for them. I thank God that they were patient enough to deal with me being angry so easily, me being sad and depressed. No one wants to hang around with anybody who is a downer. I always felt that I would be a burden, and my friends, they would tell me that I was not a burden, and just to take my time and getting better and healing myself. And there was times where I felt like maybe I did put too much on them. So I always did this thing where I would open up to them, but eventually I would pull back at the same time. Um, and I just couldn't have that healthy friendship, and that I felt that I used to have. But I still tried. I never gave up. However, it still was tough because I did still feel alone. It was hard to talk my emotions out. I know I did mention how I was on depression pills. I was dealing with depression, and how I almost took a whole bottle of pills. But for a while, I was seeing a therapist for about a year. I stopped seeing her last year of summer, but she helped me a lot in overcoming a lot of you know the issues I was having, a lot of the stuff I was holding on to. I mean, there was stuff I held on that was in the past that I thought I had, forgotten, but I didn't. I ended up holding that in. I ended up holding things in that people were telling me. I had a couple people tell me that, you know, I was making like myself feel sorry, or telling people that, just to feel sorry for me. But you know what? I didn't have a choice in this. I didn't choose to one day decide, I'm going to have three tumors grow in my spine, and I'm going to deal with all the health issues. I want to be paralyzed. I want to be bedridden. I'm going to have my mom take care of me and my dad take care of me 24/7, and my sisters help change me. And, I didn't decide to do all that. You know, I didn't decide to just be sick and to deal with all these drugs. I didn't decide that. It's a battle. It's an emotional battle, and it's a physical battle, and it's a mental battle. And at times I got exhausted and tired. You know, going through those withdrawals and deciding to get off these medicines, it was a big decision in my life that I wanted to do a very long time. But I needed my pain to be in control, and I wanted to do anything. I did physical therapy. I even took the medicine. I went to work out, and I tried to be active as much as I can. But every time I became active and did something, I always something was there was always a setback. I always end up back in the hospital, in the ER, and the doctors were worried, and they would do even more testing. And I gave up essentially because I would tell myself, what's the whole point of doing it if I'm just gonna be back in the hospital? I remember one time my mom came in and she asked me what was wrong, and I told her, what's the point? I flipped. I was crying. I was tired of the struggles. I was tired of everything that I was going through and feeling, and it hurt. It hurt a lot, but I got through it. And last year, like I said, it was a whole different year. I don't know how and when. I don't know. Maybe it took it. It was supposed to take this long for me to finally feel better. But whatever the case is, I'm fine, and I'm 100% off the medication. I'm pain free. I'm working out. I'm enjoying sports. When I was on the medication, I would feel normal. Yes, I would feel normal. However, because of that, the medicine numbs the pain. It numbs not just the pain, but it numbs also most of your body. A lot of times I wouldn't feel my body. And so because of that, just because of that feeling, I would feel that I could do anything, or like I could take over the world, or I could fight off, anything, or just go into battle and start jumping around, throwing myself. And when I would do that, I would pay for it. Sometimes I would be 3, 4 days, maybe a week. out of it in my room because I pushed myself too hard, and I realized that I shouldn't have been doing that. And so it feels good to be off my meds and to really just wake up feeling that I'm truly myself, that I'm feeling myself, because this is the first time where I could actually say I feel myself in the past couple years. Because every time I woke up in the morning, I woke up needing and wanting these medications. And I know it's not just going to be over. I know I'm going to have these cravings as I go on living. But through the strength of God, I will have that strength to fight off it and say, no, I don't need to depend on these medications anymore. I don't need to depend on these drugs anymore. And I thank God for that. You know, um, it was hard to change my life in this way because I got used to the medications. I got used to the doctor visits. I got used to, I guess, I got in my comfort zone in a way because, the medication didn't make you feel good. The medication took away a lot of your pain. It took away a lot of your feelings. It just kind of took away a lot of things. But just because it feels good doesn't mean that it's all right. I'm pretty sure God does not want me to be on this medication, and I know God has a bigger plan. Even when I was sick, I would always read the book of Job. How Job was, he was sick. He was on his deathbed. And I would always read that. And I would always have the Bible. And I would always read that book. And I'm just like Job. My blessings are coming. I know it is. God has opened doors in 2017 and 2018. I know He is still opening doors for me, and I'm like ready to walk through it. I'm ready to go in and give my all. I'm ready to go in and serve God. I'm ready to go in and do whatever it takes, to help out my church, to help out the community, to help out anything, go to big events. I'm excited, but there's still some people out there who don't quite understand what I've had to endure with these withdrawals. They're not an easy thing. Just because I say I'm tired, just because I'm saying I'm having insomnia, it's all part of the withdrawals. I hide it. I'm not someone who wants to go out and just say, this is what I'm going through. I want to be stronger than that. I don't want to be a complainer. I want to be a doer. I want to be very successful. And like last year, for example, when I was going to a youth camp, it was so hard because I had just got off on one of my medicines, but I still went and had a great time. I still enjoyed all the activities. I participated in all the activities, and at the same time, I still had to work when I was at youth camp. When I went to Floresville in October, I got off on another medication, and I still went. That same day, I still went, and I was suffering the whole entire time, but I still went and had fun. I still enjoyed myself. I still went and played saxophone with the choir. I hung out with my friends. Even though I wasn't like fully myself, I made the best of it. Convention was the same way. When I went to convention, I was not myself either because I had gotten off another medication that I was still dealing with. I'm pretty sure not a lot of people knew about that. Not a lot of people knew that I was dealing with them, those symptoms, as I was being with them or hanging out with them. But I didn't want that to stop me from having a great year and enjoying myself and having a fun time in the presence of God. I didn't want that to stop me. I wanted to continue living, because a lot of the sickness, a lot of this health and the medication, it stopped me. The depression, it stopped me from enjoying life. And I didn't want any of that to stop. I wanted to just go and enjoy God's presence. I just wanted to go and worship Him. I just wanted to go and just meet new people and talk about God and how awesome He is and share with them. Another big blessing was last year I also helped with the pastoral schooling that was held at our church, and with Pastor Mike and Sister Georgia and a few other people that were there. It was a big blessing just to help out all these pastors and see them worship God and whatever they needed. I was there. I was there from 6 in the morning. I didn't leave till 10 o'clock at night. And then on top of that, we still went out to eat with them. And then they were contacting me like they needed something because, that whole week I was helping them out with sound and computer and projections and microphones and speakers. I was helping out, and it was a big blessing. It was a truly big blessing, and to hear the pastor tell me that don't be afraid to serve God with all my heart, even if I'm struggling, man, that touched my heart. And from there on, I just continue going strong, and I still want to continue going strong. And you know, if you're depressed, if you're feeling down, if you're going through something hard, a trial, some hardships, don't give up. Don't give up at all, because the Bible says that He will uplift you with His righteous right hand. Another thing is God will never leave you and He will never forsake you, and that's a promise from God, and that comforts me. Whenever I'm feeling down and I'm feeling out myself, I go back to that. And I think about it and I get excited because it's true. This whole time I've been here, I could have been dead. I could have been 6 feet under. I could have died on the surgery table. But no, I am still here. Let me tell you one thing. The tumor that was causing the biggest problem that grew, that caused me to be bedridden in a wheelchair, it was supposed to be inside my spine. So here's the spine, and the tumor was supposed to be inside, right here. And it was growing, and it was causing to block all the nerve, press against all the nerves. But let me tell you this: it was supposed to be a 4 hour to 6 hour procedure. But when the doctors cut into my spine, they cut it in. The tumor somehow came out of the spine, and it was outside of the spine. It was no longer inside. So it ended up being a 4 or 6 hour procedure. It only took them 2 hours to take it all out, and it was gone. They were originally supposed to put brackets in my spine. It was supposed to take longer, but they didn't have to do any of that. I know God's real. I know God's alive. And it's amazing. I love to share my story, because God's good. God's an awesome God. He's been there for me. He has, you know, he has been there every step of the way, and I thank God for that, because I have gone through it. I've come out of it, and I am still here, and you will still be here no matter what. I pray for strength. I pray for the courage, and I pray for healing. And I hope that everything is the same for you. But you're not alone. God will still be there. I will still be praying for you. If you need prayer, please comment me, message me, and I'll continue praying for you. So I really hope that you don't give up, and that you really know that God really loves you. God bless you.